Hey everybody, welcome back to your favorite opportunity to hear other people talk about people they haven't met yet, that you haven't met yet, so you're just as excited as we are to be a part of this. I can't even get it all out. I'm so fucking excited. Hey everybody, it's X's for Show. Welcome back. We're here to talk about the Meet the Queen special that dropped for an hour yesterday. Can't wait to talk about it. Let's go splash in some water. I'm NICO Action, NICO-ACTION.
I'm TK Elemental.
I am Tori at SM Tori.
I'm Jonah at Peak Jonah.
Yay!
And I'm your producer, KEVO, and I still sound like this, but you can find me at KEVO Really.
All right. I can't wait. Let's do it. The first thing I want to talk about is splashy, splashy bitches. I was really kind of surprised. I really was hoping it was Semester at Sea, and then it wasn't, so I was let down. But, you know, I thought that the whole... There was, I don't know, the water theme didn't ring for me yet. I'm going to get there, I'm sure. I'm really excited about it. But I just feel like, I don't know, I didn't get wet.
Huh.
I thought it's perfectly, I think it's great. I think it's fine. You know, we have done a lot of neon and pastel, bright color vinyl type themes over the last, especially like 10 years. But this to me harkens back to, is it season 4 or 5 where it's just like gold?
That's kind of my thing. That's what I mean. Like, it's water.
Yeah. Well, it's blue, you know, it's blue and they enhanced it with water. And I don't know. I like there's something very classic about it.
And will we go through the whole elemental cycle, with next year being fire and then air and then
very
earth,
possibly.
And where's the avatar going to be?
I think they would probably spread it out a little bit more.
The
than that.
avatar is in season 20 when all of a sudden RuPaul says, sorry, this 9-year-old is here to take my place.
Blammo.
And then one day RuPaul vanished.
This all feels right.
Station attacked.
I was
She's less the Roku and more the Ozai.
Oh man.
Or Sozin. She's more the Sozin, but
shot.
Where she was coming out of a fountain at Vegas.
Yeah. She was absolutely never in water.
No.
But I don't know. I think for me, I feel a little bad for everybody because I'm like, this was probably dangerous, very difficult, cold, uncomfortable, not enjoyable, difficult. There was probably a lot of slipping. From PAs to queens on stage, I imagine this was so miserable. And like ultimately it is just blue. Like I like it. I really am down aesthetically. I think it's cool. I thought it was cool to like go big with the theme. It's just this particular one. If you have worked in any kind of production ever for any reason,
if you've ever taken a shower, I mean,
precisely. Water is horrible. Water is a terrible idea, and I just feel bad.
Oh,
I feel bad that they went through all this for like what is something very cool, but not. I don't feel like I'm really going to remember it more than any other. You know, Bob's season is always the one I remember the best.
I remember last season with everybody in the most garish, horrible thing. Everybody looked like an angry lizard. And like, ultimately, retrospect sticks out in my brain.
So,
a lot of lucky. So
as someone who has worked on shows where you do water, I was watching this and I was like, in the beginning, I was like, maybe there isn't water there. Maybe Nymphia, maybe they're photoshopping this in. And then I was like, no, they're photoshopping in the reflection. The water is there because I can see the wrinkles of the tarp underneath that they used to cover the runway. And I literally went, oh no, they just broke the runway because a tarp is not enough for that much water. I was like, wow. And there's like a whole trough to catch all that water in the background, which all of the runways had to be slow-mo because they wanted like a full rain curtain, but to get the droplets, you have to slow it down. I mean, I found this very beautiful. I was really hoping once we got to the interviews that they had done the interviews and then let them walk. And then I realized they had not. And I also don't know how much they told these girls there would be real water. Because honestly, coming down in full body glitter paint,
I said this to you earlier. how many girls took it seriously if they did, because I'm sure they heard, yeah, water or whatever.
Right.
Everybody
like,
heard
this is
the got
actually a
splashed
rain
with a
field.
bucket
Yeah.
and got jealous.
Right. Like there's a difference between water where you're walking through what looked like about 2 inches of standing water and like having a rain curtain behind and like we'll edit it in post. So like I can't imagine these girls all catching pneumonia right after this. I imagine they have
I
to
don't think
take
she's
like
on this
2
season
weeks
though,
off.
Tori.
On the stage, pneumonia.
I just gotta say,
They're all gonna sound like me.
I see her right there. Crystal Envy, Miss Paradise. I gotta say, I'm literally repping Asbury with all my heart right now in a See Here Now shirt. Asbury, the Empress, Paradise. That is literally the happiest place in my world. The background I had when I had a green screen up was literally the Asbury boardwalk from the Empress. My profile picture on literally every social media is me in front of the Asbury Beach from the Empress, 2 floors above Paris.
We love it
That
deeply
kick
here.
other puppies. You've got my life forever. You got my heart.
This harkens back to the very first photo shoot challenges of the early seasons where they were dunking them in tanks, where they were literally ruining their outfits, giving them smocks and splattering them with paint. I enjoy this. I do think the theme of water is a little... it isn't the most exciting theme, but I think with the girls and how they interpreted it was more exciting. Whether it was, I'm an aquatic creature, I'm going to do the elements of water and the movement of water, I'm going to do the styling of water, I'm going to go blue, I'm going to go silver. I think there was some interesting interpretations of the theme of water, which can be a little blah. So I think everybody kind of just smashed it out of the park. This is not me trying to be shady. This is one of the first seasons where like seeing everybody's looks, seeing everybody's meet the queens. I don't think anybody's a skip. I think it's all hits, no skips. Swear to God.
Well, okay, yes, and I actually kind of felt like every girl gave one of 2 answers, so none of the girls stood out to me. Every girl was either like, I'm not actually a bitch, I just have resting bitch face, I'm actually the nicest girl. Or, I don't care if people think I'm a bitch, I just want to win, I'd love to make friends. Or there was, I actually am not a bitch, I am a very nice person, I am just very high strung, have you ever met a type A? And so as the third, I loved these girls, but I would have asked them not all the same question, because every girl was like, what's my drag scene like? It's exactly like me, where I stand out. And like, I did feel a little bit like this was a bunch of girls thinking they had the original answer because they all worked with the same pageant coach. And be the crown, you are the crown. I was not told I had to provide a talent. So it really is.
You are not having sex on that stage. You know what? They would.
Really, I mean, Valentina. So I just genuinely, how do you guys feel about the girls? Because Jonah, I'm really glad you started it off right. Every girl was spectacular. I just wish they'd been given the opportunity to be themselves, not pageant answers.
I can see how everybody is really cool. I see a lot of potential, but I did not get from this that there were no skips. I would have... And it's, again, like, it's not... I'm going to be the mean one. I'll say it all. It's not... I agree that it is, in large part, not the fault of the girls. If you do all get the same questions, you probably are going to... Yeah, exactly. You're going to get a lot of the same answers, especially like when it's, when it's for something like this where you all have the same references and you are all the same kind of people. I will say straight up, the first 5 were interminable to get through. They all literally not literally. I trying to stop being that person. They all very,
specifically.
They had very similar answers. This was the group that every person said something about how they're a bitch, but they're not a bitch. And it got really boring to listen to. I'm looking at my notes. They all just kind of kept talking about how competitive they were and how fierce their scenes were, all of which I believe it just kind of, again, it's not their fault. Like that those were the questions that were asked, that they weren't asked differently, that, you know, because your show producer can stop you and be like, love that answer. Can you say it this way? Just so we're getting something a little different. But it was until Corey King, I was like, flat out bored.
Okay, but can we just have a real quick show of hands for Corey King, the greatest thing that happened in the reality TV since Phaedra had to do too much because you do too little? Can we just all show it?
But the other side of it is maybe she's terrible on the show. Like maybe she's just a really good interviewer, which is why I'm like, I'm not going to go too hard and say like, I didn't like anybody. Because this is such a specific format that has so little to do with anything. Like ultimately somebody who I really didn't enjoy the interview, and it bummed me out because she seems really cool. It's just like the interview was horrible to me, was Arietti. She is exactly my type of queen.
Dude, I was literally saying to Kevo, I have been a fan of Arietti since before I was like a big fan of drag. And like, I also was disappointed.
Yeah, and again, like she might be amazing on the show. This is not a judgment on her at all. It was just really not fun to get through. And that was where I started to realize like, I am not enjoying this. And then it really picked up with Corey King. And that side of my brain was like, well, hey, give equal benefit of the doubt. She might be terrible on the show and just be a really good interviewer. And it feels like the only fair way to look at things.
And that's the thing. The interviews aren't the show.
Right.
And that makes this a really hard first introduction to these girls, because it's not the way that they're going to be behaving when they're together. Exactly like you're saying, so many answers were identical because they all want to be giving the same energy when they first walk in. It's only when they get to show that, like, I think it's weird that our first look at all of them is so uniform. What I love about seeing the first 10 minutes of the episode is we get to see them in outfits they pick. These outfits are themed to this runway. So this isn't actually any of them showing their personality. They're giving pageant answers and they're wearing outfits that are matching to a theme. So I don't really feel like I have a strong sense of who these girls are yet because of all those things.
I believe we usually shoot these a little bit into it. Like they've shot 1 or 2 episodes by the point that they gather all of these gals together for this one. And it makes me wonder if part of that is them trying to get you on their side for the future, for when the episode airs and some big spat occurs and they want you already on their side.
And I love that perspective. One of the things that I really did think when they were like, okay, so there's this thing that happens where we all form judgments on the bus. Like every one of us, when we get on the bus, we make judgments. And we think, oh, that person. And then you all go to the same location. And then you find out that you're all going to get to know each other at this camp, at school, at your new program. And like you all meet each other. And now the people that you had these preconceived notions about on the bus, it's a totally different situation once you're working at the summer camp. These girls all seemed like they had bus notions, not third day in the bunk notions. It was not a lot of girls being like, I've already gotten to make some friends, and let me tell you, some of these bitches are crazy. It was a lot of walking out of the workroom opinions. I'm willing to bet that this is that's how this felt. I'm willing to bet this is that connected to the beginning. It's somewhere in that first week, that first couple of days. Like, there is no way these girls really know each other yet from how surface everyone described each other. I felt like not a single girl.
Did they describe each other?
Like, they all kind of said like, this group of girls, we are all, I've already noticed, I don't know about you, but this one girl, I already had these bitches. And so like everybody had opinions on people and talked about them. And they were all very everyone's very talented, but I don't like them. It was really odd.
Or we're all catty bitches who are gonna tear each other apart. Get ready.
Yeah, to me, I just took that as a generic answer. Like, I don't know when they met each other. They might know each other, but one, it did not seem at all specific. It did not seem specific.
That's what I mean by they don't know each other well enough for this to be that late. It's not specific.
The Meet the Queens, because this is just the Meet the Queens. This isn't specifically. And the promo, promo images, they're not trying to give things away yet. They're not trying to showcase like relationships, everything. They're trying to save as much as they can for the actual show itself. So things might come across a little generic, but that's because they were more than likely told to keep it vague, but keep it interesting.
I'm just impressed that these girls have that much control over micro reactions. That every girl seemed like they had no idea who the other girls were. Like it was just a very blank face. And I'd be very
impressed. That's the Botox.
Which was an issue this season. Hold on. I have a specific note about somebody, and I will be calling them out. Somebody could not speak because the Botox was so severe.
I mean,
oh well, I'll find it.
Pick a million of them. I mean, I was very impressed. I liked that we have. When Akasha Forgot started and was talking about being a guitar swinging queen, I was like, oh, this is exciting. And then a few later, we got someone who's like, yeah, me and my guitar. And I was like, oh no, there's two of them. Like, we're going to be butting heads.
They're going to be bumping guitars.
I made this comment to a friend of mine that it seems like this is the most girls that have ever been like, I actually have 6 degrees, 3 doctorals. I play 11 instruments. I'm in Mensa, and I don't have time for dumb girls. And then the other 4 girls were like, just so you know, I have the IQ of a shoe, but I'm here to have a good time.
Yeah, we have we have slightly larger Georges amongst us.
I gotta say, NICO, I know her and of her, and I've seen her work. And so I'm excited about her from outside of it. But one of the queens who came off the worst to me was Crystal Envy. She was third. So she gave the most people think I'm a bitch answer. And by third, I was done with it. And so that was really annoying. And she basically said, I'm a look queen, but I can do so much more, and then was really non-specific about what that was, where it was funny because everybody, like, really, one girl really was like, here are my degrees. A couple people were like, I play this instrument, that instrument, like, this is what I do Dolly Parton. I
many people my town's dry cleaner and for free so that everybody can always look their best. I'm doing this for the community. Like,
a lot of people had really specific accomplishments, and some people did manage to break out of the bitch answer. So for me, Crystal was exactly where I was like, I'm already tired of this. And then we got 2 to 3 more people who were kind of giving the same thing. So that's where I got really frustrated. But I was pretty bummed because she did look absolutely gorgeous, and this was a really cool look. And I believe she can and will do very well on the show. I believe that she does have a lot of other talents. And this is where I'm saying, like, I don't want to blame any particular queen. The interview style was just bad and wrong. And like, you don't get the chance to give better ansers.
She lives off the Garden State Parkway. I'm sure she's a blowjob queen.
Sure, that's a talent.
Yeah. So yeah. I do want to say I actually am really positive on these girls. Kind of like all of them. I'm not no skips, honestly, because I like a season that has skips. I need some people that it doesn't break my heart to part with. But I would love to, KEVO, if we could even leave this up for a little while, that'd be cool. Unless you want to jump to some videos. I'd love to just kind of like roll off and just say things that we liked about each girl. There's no negatives here. I'm not here to come for any girl. I am here to only praise these amazing performers. We can give our subtle dings later on when we want, but I just want to say some really nice things about these amazing girls for a minute. Corey King, your voice switching this is kind of what I mean. Like, I don't believe these girls were all blank facing. I do think Corey King's ability to voice switch is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my life. as somebody who like loves impressions and loves performances and performers who can do that modality and do multiple voicings in a single show, Corey King has the most effortless sense of duality in a singular presence. I could hear the change in timbre, the movement of where her throat sat. I was so impressed as a performer that Corey King could manipulate her performance like that. Absolutely. Frank Gorshin, girl, go get it.
I just thought she was funny. I so appreciate that you are going as detailed as throat movements, but I was like, oh, she's funny. This is fun. I'm having fun.
She fucking shook me on the runway. I was like, I had to sit back and be like, just stare at her walking for a bit because the waist did not make sense. The math was not mathing.
And I thought it was really fun that she like specifically talked about the fact that she is hearkening to what she feels is an older style of drag. You know, she talks specifically about wearing breasts and corsets, which I think she's maybe overselling how little that is present. I think we still see it a lot. But I do appreciate that she really kind of made clear what her style is. She's very Boston. I love a Boston queen.
Isn't she sisters with none other than Plain Jane?
If they are not,
he pulled this info.
If they are not directly sisters, I mean, like Boston is too small. Like everybody works very closely together. And she rejected the bitch answer, so I loved that too.
Corey King is drag sister of season 16's Plain Jane. Just to roll through it, Ariete is Irene Dubois' child. Crystal Envy is sister of Jasmine Kennedy. Jewel Sparkles is the drag granddaughter of Trinity the Tuck. Corey King, Plain Jane's sister. Lana Jarre. Oh, KEVO pulled it up. Season 15, Luxx Noir London. And then Sam Starr is Trinity the Tuck's daughter, which means she is Jewel Sparkles' aunt.
So wait, what was the... I'm trying to find the layout, the way I spelled it out. What else?
Yeah.
Oh, right, no, I got it. It's 6 relatives across 5 former queens, with 2 of those queens being from the same season, season 15, and 4 out of 5 queens being from the last 3 seasons, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
My God, that slain.
Yeah, and we kicked it back, and we did. KEVO and I had a slow lunch today, so we did a little back and forth. But we have it on the American seasons because this does happen a lot in the UK and Canada and down under. There isn't really relations within a season as much. The one that's major, of course, is season 11, where Raja, Akiria, and Honey are all representing Davenports. Right. But they're not like direct relations as much. The only one that you can really talk about is Tamisha and Lala Ree, and that was like a plot point that they are, but don't really have that connection as deeply as you would expect. So I just think it's interesting.
I love all of that.
Mm-hmm.
KEVO, would you pop back to that amazing Brady Bunch box you made? Jonah, I would love it if you would praise anything about any girl, whether she Anya Nerve or she got a butthole or so many of these names are just absolutely Dragula names. I can't do it. Jonah, what's your thoughts?
I mean, we've been seeing her name in the comments a lot, so I'll talk about Lucky Stars. This look is incredible. The makeup artistry, the application, the way that she looks like a really deadly but beautiful like siren or mermaid. This is the kind of drag I really live for. I love this kind of almost creature monster-esque, but it's still like this is drag. Like this is the creature from the Blue Lagoon's daughter, but make it slut. And
the creature from the Blue Lagoon is Brooke Shields.
Yeah.
Well,
so he knows what he said.
I know what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I love this look. I love the way that she came across. I don't know. There's something about her that this look really resonated with me, and like I really responded to this type of artistry. So I'm very excited to see what other similar kind of vibes she'll bring to the show.
As a Cubano who Lucky Stars would say is not really Cuban because I can't speak fluent Spanish, come for me, mama. Come get to know me. We'll have a good time, right? My tongue can't do Spanish, but the other thing I want to say about this drag that I really love is I have long said to Jonah, who has been the one who walked me into the world of Dragula, which gave me two of my all-time favorite performers ever, with Landon and Sigourney. So obviously I'm obsessed with drag kings. Like, it's just a rule, but like,
Madeline, got it.
No, we keep Madeline for special sexy times.
Sometimes people talk about Madeline, and I'm just over here like, oh no, it's Madeline Pryor time again? What show have I stepped into?
No, Madeline Hatter is basically the Madeline Pryor to a woman who does not have a Jean Grey. So she is just the evil clone of nothing good. And she is the love of my life. But so I think there's something about the willingness to be the monster that we kind of don't get from Drag Race, that Jonah, you have always said to me is where your art lies. You love this, like, you almost love like my little yokai, like you love this like weird sense of like adorable monster baby. And I feel like Lucky Stars is what happens when the adorable monster baby punches out of the egg and grows up to be a horrible little drag monster.
Yeah, I love it. That's the kind of drag that like will always be like always so fascinating because it is a little bit more different. Not that I flip flop because last season I talked about that the only person I would ever let me put in drag, because I'll never be drag, I would never be these girls because they are all way more everything above what I could do, is Morphine Love Dion, because that face was just too correct and too beautiful not to compliment and fall in love with. So that's typically like where I'll go. But yeah, I really just resonate with that kind of artistry. Yeah.
All right, somebody praise a girl. Okay, I'll do it first. I love that Susie Toot is literally, I'm going to call her Sherry Hand Pie, and she is clearly a series apology for a type of girl that has been mistreated by the American. The fact that Plasma got to be Plasma is because, and I think Susie is beautiful, but Plasma is an unreasonably handsome little man. And having seen him in person, walking on the street, dressed like Christopher Robin, awakening all of my weird Pooh Bear needs, I can tell you is beautiful in person. And there is a special way that Ru treats girls that have what I would call Abercrombieism about them, where they are just model pretty in whatever fashion that is, because Milk wasn't there for her pleasantness. And I think Susie Toot, she is truly beautiful. I haven't seen her out of drag, but her drag is a drag that I think many women who feel they aren't beautiful, that go for the divine extreme, that sort of exaggeration where I don't believe that Bianca believes she's beautiful, but I think Bianca is stunning. I think Bianca thinks she's kind of clowny. And I think she's stunning. I think she's a beautiful clown. I think Susie is a beautiful clown in a way that this show rarely dignifies so attractively, and I'm actually really grateful for it. This is an apology to all of us Broadway girls that just feel like we don't get a fair shake on this show. And I just want to thank Susie Toot for representing an old school look that might not be the most Vogue ready, but Mama knows fashion, and I'm excited.
I also want to go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's very Liza. It's very Liza, and
very Chapel Roan, let's just say it.
Chapel Roan by way of Liza Minnelli, Liza with a Z, if you will. And it's, we shall see, because I am excited for her. Ru just doesn't like Broadway queens. I don't know what it is. RuPaul just does not like them, and I feel bad because
he doesn't like people who can hold tune live.
I also think it's tough. Andrew says trade of the season. But the thing is, we don't know. That's the other tough thing about only having this much information so far. I thought to look up pictures of the queens out of drag, and ultimately I'm kind of glad I didn't, because we're mostly reacting to this reveal, and so we don't know exactly who's going to be the trade out of drag. Some of them surprise you.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lil looks like Courtney Love in drag and Nikki Sixx out of drag. So it's pick your hole, pick your poison. God, I can't believe I got to pull that joke off. That's disgusting. Oh fuck, Nikki Sixx's Motley Crue. I gotta go. So what a Motley Crue this is. Anyway, all right, let's go back to the big board. I will say something about Lexi Love. I don't love when a girl is like, I had a tough life, you know, it was bad. Mom and dad wouldn't buy me a Range Rover. I also don't maybe love when a person like weaponizes their past, so that Lexi didn't weaponize her past and was like, bitch, I have been in the worst place you can ever imagine, and I just crawled back, and you know why? It's because I'm better than that. Like, wow, okay. You seem like a lot of work. You seem really complicated. You seem like maybe you would not enjoy my person. That's fine. I love that you were so ready to tell us that it can get better when you're at your most frightened. That's a special kind of bravery. It really, really, really is a special kind of bravery. God damn it, Andrew. Now I need a drag queen named Tommy Lee, but Tommy IE. And her whole thing is she's got like giant boobs and a giant clit, like 1,000%.
We'll work on it. We'll workshop it.
Yeah,
We will.
Wow,
Maybe.
no one's with me. Gotta go. Anyway, fuck. Okay, guys, praise this incredible woman with me.
Go ahead.
It do take nerve to hear. To hear water and walk out in body glitter.
Yup.
This was the literal moment where I was like, I don't think they told these girls there'd be real water, because I think she is gutsy. I think she knows that water and body glitter do not mix. So, I really enjoyed her. I enjoyed that she does not give a fuck about anybody else, and I don't know. I can't tell if she knows how to put an outfit together because it's mostly just body paint, but it's very well done.
Yeah, she looks like the guy from Dragnet. I know I can't keep making the reference, KEVO.
This is like, it's a little bit like Carmen Carrera levels of let me lip sync stark ass naked. And I appreciate it, and it is very revealing, but it does not reveal anything to me.
So this is what I will say, and I'm going to quote Naomi Smalls. This isn't coming for you, Tori.
Oh,
for the people who come for the body girls, you could never.
I mean, no, it's true. I'm over here eating Doritos. It's fine. I get it.
I mean, seriously, Kahana's entire Montrese was right in front of me, and I thought to myself, look, I spend a lot of time at the gym, but Mama, you are, I got nothing to say. You are, so like, I really get it. It is a real stark reality to see someone with that level of like tight fit. Jonah, how did you feel about the body glitter? Is that fashion enough for you?
Yeah, because you know what? Detox walked out on All Stars 2 in that sickening silver body paint looking like Lilu, right? Or Fifth Element, not specifically Lilu.
And may we all compare ourselves to Detox as a model of what we should and should not do.
I think we should, because I think Detox is amazing, but that's also neither here nor there.
That chair dance for the rest of my life.
D to the E to the T to the O to the hold it. But not speaking of Lexi Love, I'm excited. I know sometimes queens can talk a big game, but sometimes you can tell when people know how to perform, and she just gives off the aura like if she's ever in the bottom, I'm going to feel bad for whoever she's against, because I feel like it's going to be Dawn versus Morphine body, like stepping on their neck kind of lip sync. Like the heel will not come up.
Yeah. The bottoms will be red whether they're Louboutins or not.
That's what I'm excited
Bottoms will be red whether or not they've got a good dom or not. Yikes. Okay, back to the big board. I want to say something. Okay, yeah, I'm going to say I personally can tell you right now, Sam Star, listen, you're a lot of work. And you have you big person. And this captured I've never seen a pageant girl basically be a high school senior football player before, but now I have. And I don't have a box for this girl. I don't have a Venn diagram overlap for this girl. And sometimes when I get up there with my guitar and I'm like, I wish I were dressed as a Tom of Finland-esque version of this Darkwing Duck character. And while I do that, I'm going to sing Florence and the Machine in a real high key. And I think I'm so unique and so special. And I'm just so one of a kind. And then I have these nights where I'm like, am I? Because of people like Sam Star, who I just don't have words for the beautiful contrasts that this queen gave me. It is the tonality. It is the dead dry of her voice, but this luscious warmth in her tone. I mean this with a really special love. My husband has openly spoken about the fact that he has ADD on air and how it can be hard for him to always sound the way he means to. I think Sam Star has some volume of her voice doesn't always convey who she is inside. You could convince me she's the nicest girl in the world, or you could convince me she's a fucking final boss. But I don't know. I'm going to watch this girl for a while. I'm fascinated by who she is because she's not easy to label.
I think what you're saying even really speaks to her relations, and you can really see where her mother is Trinity. I think in a lot of ways you can see where Jules' grandmother is Trinity. I also just realized Trinity is also going to be on a reality television show first quarter 2025. So maiden, mother, and crone of Trinity.
One of ours.
Trinity the Tuck. Yeah. Worst Cooks in America Celebrity Edition is going to feature Trinity as one of the contestants.
You have no idea.
Her daughter and her granddaughter will all be on reality television at the same time.
This show loves drag queens, pushes drag queens to the finale just because they love drag queens. There are drag queens who have given people food poisoning and they're like, but you're funny in a wig. And so they make it to the finale. I am literally beyond. Kevy, thank you for reminding me that, and Traitors. We will dine in hell well tonight, my 300. But yeah, Sam Star, I'm fascinated. I would love to get your guys' take because she fucked me up.
I did not have that strong reaction to her. My notes were like, oh, she's great. It was in my notes, it was really in comparison to everybody else. The first thing right off the bat, I loved that her answer about the Birmingham drag scene is that it was old school. She didn't say competitive. The word she used was old school, and she said, it's a lot of pageant. And right off the bat, it's not any queen's fault that they kept giving the same answer, because drag is very competitive no matter what. So when you get asked that same stupid question 13 other times, or when you as the producer do it, you're probably just going to keep pulling the same answer. But again, it was very refreshing. She was another person who had the talent list ready to go. She had her resume down and she gave it. And just overall for me, I did not have a strong impression of her at all, but I had a really nice one, a really good one. She seemed really confident and ready to kind of be a contestant, but nothing stood out for me. That's I would rather that be the case at this point, because I would rather judge everybody for who they are in the show, for what they do in the show. And so I would rather feel relatively neutral. I don't want to get too excited about anybody. So basically Trinity's daughter, says Kevo. Brilliant, glorious. I don't want to like anybody too much, as in the case of Corey King, because then what am I going to do if they disappoint me? But I don't want to come down hard on anybody, because that's just setting people up for unfair failure in my eyes. So yeah, she was completely, I was like, okay, I'll be excited to see how she does. End of story.
Big board me, unless somebody got more for Sam Starr or Corey King. I love alliteration.
I adore that she talked about being a cheerleader. Last person I think we got to talk about being a cheerleader at least was Jax.
Mhm.
So she can lip sync very similar to Jax, and I think Jax from season 15 is one of the best lip syncers we've seen. But literally some of the most fluid movement I've seen on any performer across any show ever.
Yeah, truly. Nobody said presidential fitness challenge like Jax.
The fitness gram pacer test is big. But yeah, so I'm excited. I also appreciate that that I felt that the context was filled in of like who's legacy and who's not. That'll be something that they'll talk about on the show. But I do think it often adds like certain levels of context that you can see like maybe where their drag family has had some forms of influence. So I'm excited for that.
Bring me to the big board. All right. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna backhand this compliment so hard the back of my palm is gonna hurt. Anya Nerve. I have so rarely seen someone in an interview who I have thought to myself, we would hate each other.
Do you know who she kind of at least a little bit looks like from Secret Celebrity Drag Race 2, Shocker 7? Who was that?
I don't. Yeah, I see it. I do. I can't think of who it was, but yes.
Fresh Prince?
Yeah, Tatiana Emali.
Thank you.
Yes.
What I want to say about her, though, is if I got that much from you, if I got that you would hate me and I would not care for you just because our personalities are both too loud to be in the same room without blowing out the speakers, I got you and you gave me you. And I'm so grateful that she was able to be herself, because I don't need to love you as a human to root for your art. And I'm here to root for your art. Yeah, who you are as a person might influence it, but I think Anya Nerve is annoying the way people think I'm annoying. I don't think she's a bad person. I think she seems like a person who loves and cares and smothers. As a smother, or as a father, I identify with Anya Nerve. I see so much of myself in her that I hate her. That's what it is. Mama, we are the same ugly girl, and God, you're so hot compared to me. I'm just grateful that she was able to sell herself so beautifully. I know who she is, and I'm buying.
Yeah,
it was hard to see a queen say she doesn't like video games.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It was difficult. It was very rough. I'm trying to get this broadcast over with so I can go play more video games.
Some of us are not built for the pew pews and the beep boops.
Tori, that's respectable, but you should never talk about it. You should never mention it.
It's
no, I'm kidding. I actually love that she said that, because it is a rare thing. It's not a rare thing to not be into video games, but it is basically like you are either into video games and like that's a thing, or like you just don't bring it up and you don't talk about it. I thought it was a particularly quirky kind of brave to throw that out as a thing. And yeah, like it did make me feel like I got her vibe. I felt like there's still a lot to learn. She gave a bunch of really generic answers. I do have a line in my notes freaking out because she also gave a competitive answer. And by this point, I was just like, who's going to get on the show and go, yeah, I'm not very competitive. I'm not going to try that hard. I just came to see what would happen, and
I'm here to make friends and chew gum, and nobody brought any gum.
So we're just gonna hug. I'm here to hug drag queens. I don't actually do drag. Who's gonna say that? Everybody's competitive. Nobody ever needs to say that again. I fully believe it. But anyway, despite the fact that that did happen, and I was like feeling it a little bit, I also, upon reflection, she gave a lot of who she was in just how she presented herself and how she spoke and how she answered the question. And again, picking this weird little answer to give about video games for me was just like, I get her a little bit.
You know, Brian, she actually revealed that her mom's name is Anya. I think, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's actually like really, I love that because now she could have a drag sister. Or a drag daughter in the makeover challenge because she's gonna make it far. She's got that thing that Ru either loves or hates, and I think Ru is gonna love it. I just need to say, it's been stuck in my head for days and days. And speaking of things that Ru loves, even when the person doesn't see it in themselves, one of the things that made me laugh the hardest at Drag Race Live was the third night when they were spinning the wheel to see who would face off against Bosco. I'm sorry, the second night. Kennedy goes, "Please let it be Nina Bonina Brown."
Nina Brown.
If she does make it to the makeover challenge, I hope she names her drag daughter Pinchta.
Oh,
Ooh,
gosh.
or I
Yes.
thought of Strucka.
Strucka, just last.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of last nerve, and I mean this in all positivity.
Oh, I want to hear.
Lydia B. Collins, Mama, I hate that you're on this. I wish you weren't. Fuck, what a waste, because you would just be the star of your Dragula season. And instead, you are likely to be a really cool girl on this. But anybody who says, I'm in this to make drag that is reflective of John Waters and David Lynch, who, by the way, everybody pour one out for David Lynch right now. He's having trouble walking, and like he is the most important filmmaker of our lifetime, the way Sting is the most important tantric sex songwriter. So I just really think we should always remember that we should be to David what Trudy is to Sting. And we should just be there to hold him up and take care of him. And so Lydia Butthole Collins, I fucking hate that you are on RuPaul's Drag Race where you would say really beautiful things like, I wish I was the bullet that struck JFK. And everyone would be like, what the fuck does that mean? And she'd be like, what? I like convertibles. And like, that would be like the most iconic shit. But she would say it, and every other line would boop, 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 and like they would never be able to air it. But over on Dragula, she would just say shit that I can't get away with saying on YouTube, and no one would blink twice. I want to see her. I want to see her get out of this quickly, lose early, and go have the most unbelievable career making weird fucking movies for Shudder.
She does give me first out like Irene Dubois vibes, or Irene Dubois.
Very.
And I mean that like Irene, it remains the queen that I so desperately wish to see all the time. I wish she had stayed on her season, but I wish I got to know her better. Like I wish I had seen her on tour, or
she could play Bianca's supervillain in a movie where they are superhero and supervillain.
Well, I was gonna say that's Hurricane Bianca 4, but you know, Irene was the first out, and I didn't expect it at all, and it was such a bummer. And I think about her every day. I just think she's so great. And
she loves water.
She does love water. She could have been great on this season. Lydia gives me a very similar vibe insofar as like, I could see her being so good, so conceptual, so ready to go, and Ru just being like, I don't like it, bye. And then she's the first out, which, you know, in some ways is its own kind of badge of pride to wear. I don't want her to go first because I would love to see her have success, and I'd love to see what she brings to the table. But I hear what you're saying about like, if she is out early, hopefully it is the first step in a career where she gets to do all the cool stuff she's talking about.
Tori, real quick, Swept Away sets Broadway closing date.
Already?
That's thank you. That just feels like it's been a really fast season of turnaround, and you know what? The reason I'm bringing it up on air is I'm not used to Broadway having first outs.
Oh, it has them. It has a lot, but we're seeing it more right now because no one wants to spend money, not to spend $300 on a show that they don't know. I liked what Lydia Collins was bringing. I think it was really fun. I think she has a kind of irreverence that I look forward to. Yeah, I think she's gonna go. I don't know if she's gonna go far on this season, but I think she's gonna gather quite a group around her, hopefully. Because I think we deserve another weird queen. I think we deserve to say to Dragula, "Oh, you think you own the block on weirdos and spookies? Well, what if we crown one of these?"
I really want Yaska to be
Well, he figures out what syllables to come next.
Yeah. Well, Nico laughs. The only part I want to slightly argue is I don't know if every girl who exudes goth energy specifically needs to be on Dragula. I think Dragula might be, asked for very specific, I don't want to say ideologies because that's a weird thing to say, but a specific kind of mindset of being a monster. They're looking for the next drag super monster. And I think, not that Lydia couldn't specifically be on Dragula if that's what she decided to pursue, more so that I think there should be room for it's kind of what we're saying. I think there should be room for on Drag Race for the girls who come across a little more alternative, gothy, a little weird, a little ooky spooky, and not specifically have to be like, well, they should have been on Dragula.
I hear you, but she said that she wants to be a filmmaker who makes other people eat shit. And
which, to be fair, is a very Dragula answer. So, like, I'm not. She might not be the hill for this conversation we talked about. She kind of looks like if Lydia from Beetlejuice did drag. Like, this is what I imagine if Lydia from Beetlejuice grew up to do drag.
Which is what she named herself after.
I think she looks like a sexy Beetleborg.
Power Rangers villain.
Oh, if that Blue Beetle movie was a drag queen, yeah.
Oh my God, that he's getting to play Blue Beetle in the upcoming animated series, and Creature Commandos is getting such terrific reviews. Speaking of drag queens, the fact that the DCU is doing so well, I can only hope that there will be tons of room for the unbelievable crew of alternate queens and alternate heroes that exist in that universe. So get on it.
Love
Using my platform.
Love it. If no one else,
my middle name is Butthole.
that's what they won't write it on the screen.
Release.
Yeah.
Lisa.
I am very. I gotta say, Jules Sparkles is fascinating to me in the way that, like, the pretty crystal ballerina inside of your grandmother's china cabinet that is too pretty and too careful to touch. Like, that's what she's giving me, and I just want to stare at it a whole lot, but like with a whole bunch of like George's energy on top in a way that I love. That, like, it's a young queen who's just like, I'm an angel born upon this earth to come here and giggle and smile and give you everything. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. We need at least one of those every season.
This is medium Georges.
Yes.
Oh my God, I forget who Long Georges is.
I think it's Gigi Good.
No, not Gigi Good. But Miss Fearlessness is Canadian Georges.
Yes.
So we're just gonna do a couple of Georgeses Georges, a fantastic performer. This girl is stunning to look at. The face, the body. She I believe she's from Miami, right?
Yeah.
She
Miami or
like
Tampa. one of those.
Or I know she's from Florida. I remember her saying she's
Yes.
from Florida. I know she's Cubano and Puerto Rican, maybe. I know she's talking about being Latin.
Yes, this was we haven't had a Latin queen in a while.
It's so hard to be
Winner,
just
Latin
Cubano.
winner.
I'm Cubano in Spanish, and you know why? It's because there's so few Cubanos. We just can't only fuck with each other. It would immediately be incest.
Yes, you're right. We need a good Cubano sandwich going on to make it work.
So that is me saying to all of those beautiful Mexican, Dominican, Puerto Rican, and all other Latinx boys, call.
Lunchtime.
This is the girl that I want to go out with. I think you go out with her, you don't remember what happened, but you know it was good.
The photos.
I think you get an hour into hanging out with her and partying with her, and I think you don't remember anything after that.
Yep.
I do feel like the other thing that Jules is great for is like actual getting something done. I don't know what it is
Brian.
about like Latinas to me. Don't even get me started on Valentina, the most beautiful woman to ever be on the planet Earth, the most perfect woman to ever live, the single most perfect woman of all time. Please don't tell Madeline I said that. She'll literally torture me. I feel like say it again.
You'd like it.
For a dom, I'm so soft for a mean mom. I think that one of the things that Jules gives me is get it done energy. If I were picking a team challenge, the first thing I do is pick Jules, and it's because she's got that thing in her eyes that my sister Julia has, which is I don't have the fucking patience for you not to get the thing I want done. So I'm going to take it over. You won't realize I'm taking it over. I'm going to tell you literally, it's my fucking sister. I can't look at it. It's the most unsettling thing I've ever seen. But it's actually really uncomfortable, and I cannot see this woman without having giant hoop earrings. It is really insane. My sister wears giant hoops. I love Jules Sparkles, and I really think that she's going to be the mama in the team challenge. I think she really knows what to do. She gives big cousin energy.
This is Prima. I'm gonna call her Prima. This is one of our Primas.
This is big Prima energy, straight up. All right, go back to the big board. I just want to make sure to say something nice about every girl real quick, in case I forgot. One of the things about Acacia forgot is by going first, she and Hormona Lisa kind of unfortunately blended together by having big hair early. Not how I felt. Wait, I do love the Replacements as a band. I'll sing Alex Chilton anytime you need me to. I'm in love. What's that song? It's Alex Chilton. But I genuinely love these two girls, and I'm sorry I don't have more positive things to say because they wound up running a little early and they both felt a little bit pageanty. I'm all here for the pageanty girls. Get pageanty all over me. But this editing style did not. This should have been guerrilla, and instead it felt a little Associated Press, and that would work if everybody was behaving Los Angeles Times, but we had some Village Voice, so it didn't feel good.
Acacia forgot she wore pants, which I always love on a runway.
Pants, flats.
Pants. What are we doing?
No, I love a pant. I love the corset. I love the Colgate hair. I say that with love, because honestly, the wig is great. The thing that stood out to me the most, which I found so fascinating, was her talking about her playing guitar and bringing her music elements on stage. And she's like, nobody else does this. And in my brain, the thing I was thinking was like, Trixie's made a music like empire. And
Trixie's gonna eat her on Pit Stop. It's gonna be fun.
Wait, Trixie who can't get booked? I'm kidding. As a guy who has a wall of masks and says "fuck Orville Peck,"
But I am excited. I do love that she's like, no, I am here to win. This is what I can do. I have all the requisite skills, so I can do it. So I did appreciate that about her, and I am honestly, as someone who's been trying to learn how to play an instrument for the first time in his life, really, I think it's cool when people get to play instruments.
Acacia and Hormona were queens of the resume. I was really excited with Acacia because she was giving me a little dull when it started, and then she started talking about what she does, and I was like, oh, those are all the things. You do all of the things. And it wasn't that generic drag race. I sing, I dance, I flip, I can rap, I can, do this. She really she clearly...
She knew two kinds of accordions.
Exactly. She really...
Okay, but actually, for the record, I got so shitty when she said that. I was like, yeah, of course you know both. Like, that's one of those things that when I got so angry so fast.
It's one of those things where, like, if you've ever watched a piano player be suddenly handed an accordion and say,
yes,
it's the same thing,
yes,
and you watch them learn it over 3 weeks, and it kind of is.
Yes. It was why I learned the ukulele in 2 days. Yeah. Because it's just the top 4 strings of a guitar, real light.
Yeah. And then Hormona, she is very clearly very smart. And has the credentials and the education to back it up. There is a flag that is ready to go off that we're having a little bit of maybe Serena Chacha 2.0 when they get into the workroom, but probably not. That probably won't ever happen. But just like, when you're talking that much about your education, I do always wonder. But I am stoked to see. I was stoked to see two people come in really confident about their accomplishments and what they can do, and really be able to back it up, not just go like, I am great at dancing. You'll see when I dance. So yeah, I both of them, I see the potential.
For sure.
I'm gonna bring us to that big board.
I'm also in. I know that my taste in queens is very different from RuPaul's taste in queens, but I'm enjoying the fact that I seem to have a little bit of a smorgasbord this season, which is very nice for me because I'm struggling. I'm struggling with Canada right now being just a lot of beautiful fashion people and not so many deep, campy, weirdos, theatrical gals.
I love that perspective because, I'm thinking about the fact that we're getting this, 3 weeks into Canada, 2 weeks into Canada, and this is going to come out as Canada is winding down.
Yes.
I'm going to be in a position to think very differently about these girls. I want to say that Joella, I mean this really good, but I sometimes get these messages from these really hot girls. Really hot boys on Scruff, but I'm talking about Joella as a lady, so I was trying to be inclusive. I get these messages from these really hot dudes, and they are like, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you. Your name's Nico. Can I blow you? And like, Joella gives that energy on a dating app. This look, these lips, these eyes. The thing I love about it is it's not, oh, would you let me? No, it's kind of, it's like, it's this, she seems strong, self-possessed of her sexuality. I love that she said she wasn't going to let she was going to let like little skinny bitches do flips on her. And like, I don't know, she gave what I sometimes call confidence that doesn't mean unearned, that doesn't mean unfair, and it doesn't mean inappropriate. It means confidence. Joella gives it. I definitely think that this is a girl that like she would be like, I could throw knives, hand them, and like she's never thrown a knife in her life, but she'll figure it out. And like that's a bitch that will go either really far on this show or will tell a joke that RuPaul will be like, I don't get it. And she got it and didn't like it.
I think this is the girl.
Rest in peace, Rock'em Sakura.
That's the one.
What, Jonah?
Oh, I think this is the girl who's going to cause fights and be the best TV. I think I'm going to call it now. She gives the energy that she knows she's going to be on a reality show and she's going to bring it. I think she could give us the most entertaining moments of the season.
This is she kind of gives the vibes of a grenade thrower. We're just like from across the room, just going, well, what do you mean you didn't want to pick her for your group?
That's not what she said. She said this.
Yes.
She looks
and
like
suddenly there's snake sounds and everyone is turning to different cameras and it's all madness. Yeah, this is definitely the confidence of someone who has it ingrained deep in their blood and society never backed it up. And they just went, well, if society doesn't want me to be confident, I guess I got to be triple confident.
It's why I, a long time ago, decided I would just like my music the most of anybody. And I would just laugh the hardest at my jokes. Because you know why? If you don't laugh the hardest and if you don't like it the most, that's your loss. Yeah. And I really just feel like Joella embodies that strength. And it makes me happy. The other girl that made me really happy was Lingerie. I'm kidding. When she was like, it sounds like lingerie, I was like, oh, okay, that too. Lingerie. What I like to be this beautiful. Like, fuck. I'm a guy who thinks he's handsome. I'm a guy who thinks he's studly. What up? But like, beautiful. She looks like art. She looks like a painting by Degas. And I wrote my minor thesis on the Impressionists. So like I get it. I love what she's doing. I love what she's trying to accomplish with the idea of color blocking across a skew of color. She seems to be, by the lighting here, a more light-skinned black woman in that regard. And the fact that she was able to find blues that make her black look so incredibly luscious. She designed to her skin in a way that looks like a painting, in a way that feels like art. What a way to elevate whatever the canvas, whether this was her beautiful skin or she chose to put on a lighter skin because, hey, white ladies never go darker. It's beautiful. And I just have so rarely seen someone whose entrance look, because Meet the Queens has become your entrance look, if you think about it, since they did not include the entrance looks in this Meet the Queens.
Yeah, true.
This entrance look, for me, is one of the most painterly pieces I've ever seen in the history of the show. And I'm really grateful for the way she chose to engage her artistry by color matching this unbelievable theme. She made the theme look real.
Agreed, for sure. Like it was, I was really impressed with the gals who brought very flowy, light fabrics into the water thing. I think it was really, really gorgeous. I like her vibes. I think, was she the one who said she was supposed to be a mechanical engineer?
I was like, never mind. I'm gonna do drag and do it better than everybody.
Yeah. I love that. Yes, Jonah, our fellow engineer.
I was muted because I wanted to make sure that everybody was able to have their moment. But yes, that's my engineering sister. Like last season that we had Dawn, who is a computer engineer. We have a mechanical engineer.
Your new Dawn.
I guess I need to do drag.
A new day is dawn.
Well, and sweetie, who's our engineer judge?
Oh my God, Lottie Love. Oh no, we do. We already have someone who does drag. Okay. Whew. Lottie Love is their electrical engineer.
Well, and
Jonah was like, "Whew, weight off my shoulders."
I can't do this.
I just want to say that Luxx Noir London literally went to an art school that would fucking kill you if you're not literally part of the arts. Like, if you Luxx Noir London went through an art school that is basically auditioning every single day of your life 6 times a day, and I don't want to believe for a moment that everybody can equate everything to everything, but there are schools that make even 2 + 2 torture. And Luxx went to a school that puts people through the sort of rigors I did see Jonah go through during college. I actually kind of feel like Lana might have seen someone who knew the rigors of a strong education in Luxx and understood what it was to be connected to someone. So I love that they're drag family in that regard. because Luxx's school is no joke.
Oh no, it is not.
It's abusive.
My only really big note for Lana was I kind of wondered if she got different questions because she went off on this whole tangent that I loved about being scared of Michelle. And again, it was just a moment of like, it was this and video games where I was like, oh, I know a little bit more about this person. Nobody else said anything like this. So they either cut everybody else's answer to the questions that these girls got that produced those responses. But for me, as with Anya Nerve, it was this moment where I was like, oh, that's a thing. That's really funny. Like, I get where, like, she also had a good reason for why she said she was scared of Michelle. And I just thought it was a very funny, charming answer. And it allowed her to stand out a little bit in getting to know her. And I just really enjoyed it. And, you know, again, I'm just kind of looking at production going, what were you guys thinking here? But yeah, I mean, she seems really cool.
I'm having a great time, and I think it's really important to remember that even when you're seeing these queens for the first time and you're just kind of making a quick assumption, you're not locked into it forever. So anything we say in this episode, it does not mean that we have to feel in the finale. We're going to have like 16 incredible episodes with these queens, and I can't wait. KEVO, would you bring us back to the big board? I think we've said okay. No, we've now hit every queen. I feel good. Okay, so we've said something real nice about every queen. I do want to say, girls, these wigs. I don't know if we're gonna find out that you all had to switch wigs right before the episode began. I don't know. I felt like the hair this episode, it heard Ru say bigger, 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 but it kind of forgot to remember focus on the outfit. Corey looks beautiful, but that wig line literally it mugged me. I love what Joella is wearing, but her beautiful face is obscured by the enormousness of the purple hair.
Oh, I love that hair.
I love it, but I can't see her face. I love Sam's star, but Mama, you're not a Christmas tree. You don't got to be the pointiest at the top. So I love every girl. I love all of their looks, but being a funny, shady bitch, and you know, I'm a catty gay man, it's funny. I did think that the wigs this particular episode did not fit, because this was an episode. This was an hour long. This did not fit my needs for these girls.
Well, when you've got RuPaul letting her hair down in her own promo image, can you let the girls have a better wig? That's a great question.
Wig. No, it's not for you.
That's for us.
It's
wig.
It's not for them.
Actually, it was really interesting when you said that these are kind of their entrance looks, because coming off of where we just did the roses and the thorns for Canada for the entrance looks, it's
so
making me
good.
realize that this is the entrance look for the audience, and that the entrance look in the workroom has now started to become more about proving to the other girls that you know what's going on.
Tori, you're so meta. You're just Tori, you're so meta. You're all for Joe.
Don't do that to me.
Turn on the
Don't do
house
that.
lights, everyone.
You know what? You
It's a
should
Remington
make
Steele.
TK listen to that soundtrack.
I've sung it for him. So
And here I thought you were going to say you're so meta. Mark Zuckerberg is trying to get at you or something.
Oh, I'm not
Asian.
Asian enough for him to be interested.
ooh, God, everything about this is getting better and better. And until that android fully endorses us on. By the way, I want to say for 1 minute, like every now and then we'll look on Facebook and just see how our episodes are doing on Facebook, and we'll be like, oh, 15,000 views. What the fuck? So thank you to all of our.
Really?
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
So thank you so much to all of our.
I
Facebook
appreciate
viewers.
that because every time
Yeah.
I go on Facebook, all it is bad AI articles about like random celebrities and their babies that aren't real, but people react to them like they're real. I appreciate everyone watching on Facebook.
I love that Break Yourself just said that he's drunk. I also really love that Brian, fucking God, Brian, you are, listen, Hot Older Boyfriend is the biggest, Family Guy fan on the world. So like, part of me wondered if you were actually Hot Older Boyfriend, just popping in the chat, and then you said cunty, and I knew you couldn't be.
That's Epic Farland.
Hormona Lisa handed RuPaul her audition tape in person at Ru's book tour.
So this was a thing that RuPaul like specifically said, come on season 17 to Hormona Lisa. Like this was a whole thing during the book tour.
If I can just be honest with you, all I want to do is just be like, Ru, I do not want to be on the show. I am not that kind of cute, but what I am is sexy in a production studio. And I want to write songs for this show. So Ru, please be aware that the next time you release an album, I'll be at the CD signing because I know you do so many live performances. So I just love that factoid. I think it's just really cool and really funny. And Brian, thank you so much for being there. And Anthony Bruno, I also love that you are laughing your butt off. That's super fun. All right, I want to shut this shit down. I had such an incredible time. I kind of feel like this is our little drag race. I feel like my own little Michelle Visage, my own little RuPaul, my own little Reese, when we're our own little panel. And, you know, we talked a little bit about Project Runway isn't coming back for the moment. They just announced that they're beginning a Project Runway International series, beginning with Project Runway Africa, for which I could not be more excited. I'm going to watch every episode. I have seen probably 5 or 6 international editions of Project Runway. But I've not seen more international editions of anything than Drag Race, for which I watch 4 or 5, and am so grateful to this franchise. Some of my favorite girls have come from all around the world, yet this season does seem to be focused on a couple of key locations. It does seem to be tying into pageantry in the American South, plus pushing out toward California and the East Coast, and I only say it in such a way because if you're from New Jersey, you're basically from California. It's fine. And if you're from California, you're basically from New Jersey. Nobody's clocking. Asbury is just Long Beach. No, it's not. But I do mean that everybody else in the middle of us thinks that we are assholes. So it's all fine. I would love to get 3 girls you are excited to see. This is not your top 3 girls. This is not the 3 you think are in the finale. This is not the only 3 you think matter. All 14 of these girls are beautiful in all of our eyes, except TK, who's hateful. So no, I'm kidding. He has love for everybody, no matter how hateful the love is. No, it's hate love. It's like an album by Drain STH. It's lovely, but also horrible. So I would love to get what 3 girls you are excited to see and where you can be found. I'm going to start with Tori because, you know, Tori, you came into this like you were designed to take over the show. So I just want to say, in my life, you are Ron Swanson, but in this show, you are clearly Ben. So I am so grateful to the way you have so filled out this show with excellence. And I would love to know what 3 ladies you are excited to see and where everybody can find you, lady.
Well, you can find me online at smtori. That's Tori with an I. Who do I feel is filled with as much excellence as me? I'm here for Corey King. I'm here for Susie Toot. And I can't pick between Hormona Lisa and Joella. So, and Arietti. There's too many.
There's too many.
There's too many.
I love that. That is the best way to feel that you have too much love in your world. That is definitely not the problem the Republican Party has. But somebody who does have too much love in his world is somebody that we all smother with love so much. I can't believe he can even speak with how much we love him and smother him.
And how much we
Jonah.
father him.
Oh, how much we definitely.
Father's fathering.
Jonah, until I get to father you again. What 3 queens are you excited to see, and where can everybody see you?
You can find me on social media platforms at Peak Jonah. 3 queens I am very excited to see more from include Crystal Envy, Lucky Stars, and Susie Toot.
We love it.
I cannot believe how fast you said 3 names. I was not prepared. KEVO, you are a producer, and also we're probably also like, why you went fast? I would love to know where everybody can hear you if they can. You have done such an amazing job producing this show with so little voice. You are just absolutely blowing me away. Thank you so much for representing as best as you can. What 3 girls are setting your attention afire, and where can everybody find you since you are fire?
And I'm a fire sign, so there you go.
Yay!
You can find me on the socials at KEVO Really. That's KEVO I tried. I hope it came through.
It did.
Top queens. I mean, I want to root for Crystal Envy, if only just because of how much she hyped up our home state.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
I think it's more a vibe. I'm going to really be watching Harmona Lisa after her coming up story. And I'm really going to be looking at these legacy girls. Jules and Sam have a lot to live up to. And, it's almost like having the twins back. Is Lana Jarre going to be quite as sassy or fashionable as her mom? Who knows? So I am intrigued on that front.
KEVO, I am so excited to hear what it's so funny. We were talking earlier, and like I get where you come from, because like I sometimes can't remember the real name of an X-Man, but I can always remember, like, before the episode started, I was fingering along with, because I play violin, I was fingering along with the piece that was playing because I wrote it by playing and like thinking it out. You said to me recently that you sometimes feel like you don't remember the queens by name as well as I do. And I really feel like you vibe with the identity of queens. You vibe with who they become, and that's what makes you remember those names. You might say, not that this is exactly what happened, but you might say you have trouble remembering the difference between Plasma and Q. Thank you so much for giving me another excellent Broadway queen who is also fashion-minded and so makeup-y. Thank you. I think that's so great that you're already seeing that sort of formation in these queens, and it makes me really excited, because that means that even if I felt that this promo didn't hit all the buttons for me, it hit all the buttons in the right ways for a big audience. And speaking of a big audience and somebody that I think super highly up, man, I just saw somebody say Vivaldi, it doesn't get better, and that is correct. There's you correct. But somebody who I do not think that many people can get better than, TK, you are such a unique force in this world. You are a truly unique force on this earth. We're gonna cut that, right?
Yeah.
You are a good seed.
You are a good seed, sir. I love that you
your best efforts.
I love the way you look at drag, because one of the things that you do is you find the it's so weird, because like it's like a blending of we're from the same kind of scenes in different areas, but you find the things in the same scene that we loved. Like the side of Midtown I loved became Cobra Starship. Hey Gabe. The side of Midtown you loved died with Cobra Starship. So like I love that we grew up God, I wish I could hate you for the rest of my life in the same way, but I'd love to know which 3 queens really stood out to you, and where everybody can get more of your amazingness. In that incredible hat, an unbelievable hoodie, you have someone who really thinks highly of your fashion sense.
Truly, I could not be more lucky. That actually was a total coincidence. But thank you for all the clothes. God, you guys all took the good ones.
They're all good ones.
Take them back.
It's gonna be the ones I'm excited about are Corey King, Susie Toot, and Arietti. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. And if you want to talk to me about that, you can do so at TK Elemental. NICO, Who are you looking forward to seeing more of?
Corey King, you are the person that I want to be in this world. Sam Starr, you have my attention, but I'm a hometown boy. I cut my teeth on being a human being in Asbury Park. I've spent some of the greatest nights of my life with these people at the Empress. I've danced till I literally couldn't stand one more second, and Kevy had to walk me to the bed at the Empress at Paradise. And I have cried and sang and screamed till my throat gave out at Paradise. I don't know that there are many places that I have more magical psychic memories of in this world than the Empress and Disney World. And what Crystal Envy represents is seeing dumb fucking queers like me be smart and beautiful and cool and amazing and rise above and become so special. And I don't know, Crystal, you represent the best of us. And as a Jersey boy who is always proud to write songs for drag queens and is proud to get up there and be his drag king self. And this is a season of beautiful people, whether it's Jules and the unbelievable Lucky being Cubano, or it is the Broadway vibe of Susie, or the instrumentation of Hormona. I really feel like we're looking at some of the most unbelievable people to ever grace this stage. And I, at NICO Action, NICOACTION, and if you want to commission work from me, girls, any of you, NICO Action Music, NICOACTION.
I also want to say, for someone who doesn't know anything about drag, Break Yourself already has some of the lingo down by suggesting that Rue might be what? Delusional.
Is it delusional?
You just said the secret word, break yourself, and you don't even know it. So we hope you come back again and learn more.
Amazing, guys. I have loved this episode. You guys can check out so much more about this show at X is for Podcast, X is for Show, and HTML. We love making it for you. 3 things you guys can do for us: comment, like, and subscribe. The algorithm is a tricky thing, so the more you interact with it for us, the happier we'll be. It's just kind of how the world works. Hello. But other than that, 3 things that you guys can do for yourselves. The most important thing is you guys can stay safe. This world is crazy out there. I love going to Goodwill. I genuinely love shopping at Goodwill. Me and hot older boyfriend like to take Goodwill dates. And I found a big sign that says "Be brave" with arrows on it. And so he's going to put "Stay safe" and "Evolve daily" on it for me. And so it can be in the back. Because being brave is what every one of these girls did. And I am in awe of them. I am so impressed with the strength that each one of them showed that I can't wait to evolve daily. Who you and I were yesterday is less than we will be today and less than we will be tomorrow because of the strength of unbelievable girls like this and our amazing audience. Break Yourself, Anthony, hold on, wait, Brian. I want to hit all the people. Anthony, thank you all for coming out. And Rue, I know that you were in the audience tonight. You don't have to.
The hell lady always shows up. So like,
she does. She's so awesome. She's so cool. And as is Spike,
not even joking.
But I super duper appreciate all of you. Can't wait to be back. So until next time, stay safe. We'll see you. And yeah.